It's been a little while since I did an update on Dolly, my MGA roadster. Basically, I've been doing repairs on the frame. I'm actually going to put out 3 separate videos. One on the fabrication, because I had to fabricate all of the pieces that I welded onto the frame. So there's the fabrication, there's the frame welding, and then the third one will be the frame extension. The extension on the front of the frame presented a whole lot of its own issues. So we'll start with the fabrication video. Okay, now all of these pieces that I welded on had to first be fabricated, and some of them were a little bit tricky. And the 2 new battery boxes as well. I made up new ones. The old battery box was about 2 inches shorter, and today's batteries, it's difficult to find a battery that would actually fit in the battery box as it was. So I've extended it, so I've got a lot more choice in battery. Now, a lot of these shapes that I had to, it's quite a mess behind here. A lot of these shapes that I had to make up are a little bit challenging. All I have basically is this little 30-inch Princess Auto Harbor Freight benchtop brake, and you literally just have to clamp down this bar on the top, and then the bottom section can bend. It's really only rated for about 20 gauge, and I had to bend as heavy as 14 gauge, and I managed it. It wasn't easy. And then a combination of just using whatever I had to try and hammer form the flanges for the U-shaped channel. This little anvil that I made in a previous video came in very handy. Oops, I dropped that on the floor. And basically I put the piece on top and put another piece of steel on top, just an old scrap of tubing, and then I put the vice grips on, clamped it down, and that was to keep it flat on the top, so I wouldn't just get a rounded shape. And then I just hammer formed the sides, bend it down to get my flange. I started out trying to use a sheet metal shear that I have. It's just a little handheld, but it's a shear, and it would not cut the heavy material that I was trying to work with here. So virtually all of my cuts were done just with an angle grinder and a zip cut. So not always all the straightest of edges, but I got the job done. Okay, what I'm about to do is bend 14 gauge. I really didn't think it was going to be possible in this little benchtop break. But I did one already, so I need a little video evidence. This is the rear cross piece for the rear floorboard support, and it's heavier than all the rest. So this is 14 gauge, and it has to be bent up to 75 degrees. So there's the angle I'm looking for. So that's not even close yet. And at this end, it's getting close, but it's not there. It's so heavy that this flexes a bit, so I always get a little more angle here, and I have to finish the other end off with a hammering. Actually looks pretty close right there, so I know I'm way over bent down at this end. So before I take it out of there, I'm going to undo some of that bend a little bit. Okay, I think once again that was a success. The main thing is keeping this bar from moving because there's an awful lot of force on it. So that's why I'm using a wrench on my clamps. And there we go. Looks good to me anyway. Yeah, so these are the pieces to go here and here. So looks pretty good right now. I'm just going to have to cut the ends to shape to fit all around the frame. But it's going to work. I kept all of my scrap pieces that I cut off so that I could locate all the holes and the weld nuts and everything. So if you're doing something like this, don't throw anything away until you're 100% sure you're done with it. And there's another piece down there that I kept for the hole locations. See, all of these weld nuts, I don't have the equipment to spot weld on the weld nuts like the factory. So basically everything is just tacked on. And feel that will suffice. Now on the passenger side, the right side, there's all these little clips, so they all had to be made up as well, and all the weld nuts. So I needed all of the dimensions for all of that stuff. These corner pieces were very difficult to make up, but it's all hammer formed. Just basically using the anvil and bending the edge over. Now, if I would have purchased all of those pieces, probably would have run me close to $1,000 with the exchange and shipping and everything. And right now I think I'm into it for under $100. So, might not be perfect, it might not be concourse restoration, but I'm on a limited budget, and I'm quite happy with what I've achieved here. There won't be very much progress today. Had to push the frame off to the side. My truck wouldn't start yesterday, so I've got it brought inside, and today I'll be pulling the starter motor out of it. I'm not looking forward to crawling underneath this thing. But there's the frame. All the welding is complete on it. From here on in, it's basically just degreasing, and I'm going to have to neutralize the bit of rust that's left on it with a metal conditioner. I'll probably use muriatic acid, and then it'll all have to get rinsed off. I put a water tank up there. That's something I've done just recently. There's no water in the shop, so in order to proceed and have some rinse water for the metal prepping, I put that water tank in, and so today I'll get this truck out of here, I hope, and get back to work on the MGA. But that's where I'm going to end this video, and so like, subscribe, and stick around, please, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye now.